Welcome to our channel HD Rare Coin 111, your go-to spot for uncovering the incredible world of rare US coins. If you've ever wondered if your old pennies, nickels, or dimes are worth more than face value, you're about to find out. In today's video, we'll be exploring some truly rare coins and their shocking values. And if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. So let's jump in. Top 1. Today, you're about to step into a chapter of American history that has been struck in metal, carried in pockets, forgotten in drawers, and rediscovered by lucky collectors. You're watching the kind of video that could turn your spare change into a small fortune. Buckle up, because we are diving deep into the story of the legendary United States of America Kennedy half dollar, the bicentennial edition, marked 1776 to 1976. Now, this isn't just any ordinary half dollar. This coin was minted to celebrate 200 years of American independence, a milestone that called for something bold, something beautiful, and something timeless. And oh yes, the United States Mint delivered. Let's take a closer look at this iconic piece. On the obverse, you'll find the familiar and dignified profile of President John F. Kennedy. Strong, silent, unshaken. It's a portrait that represents a turning point in American leadership and a tribute to a president whose legacy shaped a generation. But what sets this coin apart isn't just the man it honors, it's the moment in history it captures. Look just below his neckline, there it is. Not just 1 year, but 2. 1776 to 1976. This dual-date design wasn't just symbolic, it marked one of the most ambitious commemorative coin projects in U.S. Mint history. But that's only the beginning. Flip the coin over, and here's where the real magic starts. Instead of the standard presidential seal with the eagle, which appears on most Kennedy half dollars, the reverse design of this special edition features the Independence Hall of Philadelphia, the very place where the Declaration of Independence was debated, signed, and echoed across centuries. This isn't just a building. It's the birthplace of a nation. Now let's talk composition. While most 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half dollars were minted for circulation using a copper nickel-clad composition, there are select rare varieties that were struck in 40% silver, especially those minted at the San Francisco Mint for collectors. These silver versions carry a unique luster, a richer weight, and a deeper ring when flipped. For collectors, that sound is music. And now we enter the world of rarity, where history meets hidden errors, and coins turn into gold mines. Among the most sought-after and elusive examples of the 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half dollar are those with striking errors, planchet anomalies, and doubled dies that send their value skyrocketing. Imagine a coin struck off-center, with Kennedy's portrait pushed toward the rim, or a doubled die obverse that gives his profile a haunting, doubled appearance. Some have been found with clipped planchets, meaning a piece of the coin is literally missing due to a misfeed in the striking chamber, but still passed through quality control. Even more exciting are coins with proof-like surfaces minted on the wrong planchets. Yes, examples exist that were mistakenly struck on $quarter blanks, resulting in underweight half dollars with incomplete detail. These are not just errors, they're miracles of minting, born from a chaotic dance of mechanical missteps and human oversight. The kind of stuff that keeps collectors awake at night. Now picture this, a Kennedy half dollar with a rotated die error, where the reverse appears twisted at an odd angle when flipped vertically. These rotational misalignments make for unforgettable pieces in a collection. A coin like this could be 1 in 100,000, or rarer. What also makes these bicentennial halves captivating to collectors is the fact that they are no longer being minted, and the finest examples have been locked away in private collections or graded by third-party services like PCGS and NGC, giving them authentication, preservation, and status. Grading plays a crucial role here. A coin graded MS67 or higher, or even a Proof 70 Deep Cameo, becomes exponentially more valuable than a circulated one. The market for rare coins has surged in recent years, as more people begin to appreciate the history, artistry, and pure mystery that each coin holds. And the 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half dollar is a shining example of this growing passion. Whether it's a silver-clad proof with mirror surfaces or an obscure mint error never meant to exist, these coins draw the attention of not only seasoned collectors but investors, historians, and curious newcomers who just happen to check their change one afternoon and discover something extraordinary. Let's not forget the emotional connection. For some, this coin was handed down from a parent or grandparent. For others, it was a childhood keepsake, found in a drawer or bought at a yard sale, never knowing the treasure it truly was. Coins like this carry not just monetary value, they hold personal history, and that's priceless. So, if you've got a bicentennial Kennedy $50 tucked away, take another look. Is it struck in silver? Is the design misaligned or doubled? Is it in pristine condition with that brilliant uncirculated shine? It might just be the ticket to a discovery you never expected. And now, as promised, the number every coin lover has been waiting for. One incredibly rare Kennedy $50 from the 1776 to 1976 series, featuring a unique error and flawless preservation, once stunned collectors when it sold for a staggering $190,000. Yes, you heard that right, $190,000. That's not a myth. That's the power of numismatics. That's what makes this hobby a passion. That's why collectors spend a lifetime searching. Because the next rare coin, the next jackpot, could be in your hands right now. If you enjoyed this journey into the world of rare American coinage, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more unbelievable coin stories, and leave a comment if you've got a Kennedy $50 story of your own. Until next time, keep your eyes sharp, your coins safe, and your curiosity alive. Who knows, your next coin might just change your life. Thanks for watching. Top 2. Ladies and gentlemen, coin collectors, history lovers, and everyone who enjoys the thrill of finding hidden treasures, welcome to a world where ordinary-looking coins turn into extraordinary discoveries. Today's journey will take us into the depths of American numismatic history. We're diving into a special coin that might just be hiding in plain sight, a piece of silver, copper, and mystery, the 1972 Kennedy $50. That's right, a coin that millions have held in their hands, but only a few truly understand the value of. This is not just a piece of money. This is a chapter of American pride, a tribute to legacy, and in rare cases, a literal fortune. Let's take a deep breath and step back to the early 1970s. The Vietnam War raged on. Apollo missions were still echoing the American dream into space. And the image of President John F. Kennedy continued to be a symbol of hope, leadership, and the future. In 1972, the United States Mint struck the Kennedy $50 as part of its regular coinage, but little did the public know, some of these coins would become objects of obsession, symbols of rarity, and treasures worth more than anyone could have imagined. At first glance, the 1972 Kennedy $50 may seem like your standard 50-cent piece. On the obverse, you'll find the strong, iconic profile of President Kennedy, his face etched in dignity, with the word, Liberty, above and the year 1972 below. But as every true collector knows, it's not just what's on the surface that counts. It's the hidden details, the secrets, that make certain 1972 Kennedy halves incredibly valuable. Now, let's get into what makes some of these coins so rare and highly desirable in the numismatic world. You see, the majority of 1972 Kennedy $50 were minted in copper nickel clad. These were struck at the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints. But among these millions of coins, a select few slipped through the cracks of precision, and it is those few that have captured the attention of the collecting world. We're talking about errors, those beautiful, unpredictable, mint-made mistakes that transform ordinary coins into once-in-a-lifetime finds. Let's begin with one of the most famous types of errors, the double die. Yes, the elusive double die obverse, or DDO, where Kennedy's profile appears twice, subtly, but undeniably. Look closely at the words, "In God We Trust," or the date, 1972. On some rare specimens, you'll see doubled lettering, a ghostly echo that tells the story of a die that struck twice with just enough shift to be noticed. These coins are rare. Very rare. And they are cherished by collectors for their uniqueness and visual impact. Then, there are off-center strikes. Imagine a 1972 Kennedy half-dollar where the design is not perfectly centered. Maybe you see only half of Kennedy's face, or part of the eagle on the reverse has vanished into the blank planchet space. These off-center errors are like abstract art from the mint, accidental and brilliant. The more dramatic the misalignment, the more valuable the coin becomes. But it doesn't stop there. Some of the most fascinating errors involve planchet mix-ups, coins struck on the wrong metal. There are confirmed cases where 1972 Kennedy half-dollars were struck on quarter-dollar planchets, making the coin underweight, with a clipped rim and incomplete design. These minting errors are incredibly hard to find, and they often go unnoticed for years, sometimes decades, before a sharp-eyed collector recognizes the mistake. Now picture this: a coin that was supposed to be clad in copper nickel, but instead, it's mysteriously struck on a 40% silver planchet, a leftover blank from previous minting years. That's right. Although silver was discontinued from regular circulation coins after 1970, a few silver planchets remained in the mint's production system, and some accidentally ended up in the presses in 1972. If you find one of these, you're not just looking at a coin, you're holding a numismatic anomaly, a silent survivor of history, worth far more than face value. Then there's the no FG variety, a famous subtype where the designer's initials, FG, for Frank Gasparo, are missing from the reverse side near the tail feathers of the eagle. This subtle absence is a minting flaw caused by overpolished dies, and believe it or not, it can increase the coin's value dramatically. Condition, of course, is key. While millions of 1972 Kennedy half-dollars circulated heavily, the ones that were preserved, uncirculated, proof, or exceptionally high grade, stand apart. Coins graded MS67 or higher, with full luster, sharp details, and no wear, are rare and heavily in demand. The grading game is a world of its own, where a small scratch or blemish can make a five-figure difference. And then there are those that were struck at the San Francisco Mint, the proof versions. These are mirror-like specimens, struck multiple times with polished dies, meant for collectors and never intended for pocket change. But if a proof coin ever made it into circulation, or even more astonishing, if a proof error coin exists, its value can be extraordinary. So why do collectors chase these coins with such passion? Because the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar is not just a coin. It's a blend of politics, patriotism, mystery, and beauty. It honors a president who was taken too soon. It captures a time of change in America. And for a select few, it represents a once-in-a-lifetime discovery, the kind of coin that turns up at flea markets, estate sales, or right at the bottom of an old coin jar in your closet. Now, imagine holding a coin in your hand that was never supposed to exist. One with a double die error, or one struck on a silver planchet when none should have been used. Imagine it in pristine condition, untouched by time, shining with a brilliance that says, "I am one in a million." And now, the moment every viewer has been waiting for. One such 1972 Kennedy half-dollar, discovered with a rare mint error and preserved in flawless condition, astonished collectors and stunned the numismatic community when it sold for an unbelievable amount. It was auctioned for $185,000. That's right, $185,000 for a 50-cent coin. Let that sink in. So check your change. Examine your collections. Revisit those old coin rolls from your childhood. Because somewhere out there, another treasure is waiting to be found. And it might just be hiding in your pocket. If you found this video fascinating, make sure to subscribe for more incredible coin stories. Drop a comment below if you've got a Kennedy half-dollar or have ever come across a rare error coin. And remember, in the world of coin collecting, even the smallest details can lead to the biggest surprises. Thanks for watching, and keep hunting. Your next coin might just change your life. Top 3. We're about to unlock the story of a coin that may look ordinary, but in the right condition, with the right rarity, and with the right error, it becomes a legend. Today, we're going to take a deep and exciting journey into the fascinating world of the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar, a coin that has puzzled collectors, surprised dealers, and even made headlines in the world of numismatics. So if you're the kind of person who loves history, mystery, and hidden value, this video is going to be a treat you'll never forget. Now let's rewind to the early 1970s, an era of change, hope, and transformation in the United States. America was still healing from the loss of President John F. Kennedy, a leader whose charisma and courage left an everlasting imprint on the nation's soul. To honor him, the United States Mint began producing the Kennedy half-dollar in 1964. But as the years passed, one particular year, 1973, began to stand out not just for its design or mintage, but for its rarity, errors, and unexpected value. Let's start with the basics. The 1973 Kennedy half-dollar was minted at three major facilities: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, marked with a D; and San Francisco, marked with an S. Most people think of these coins as just pocket change. After all, it's a 50-cent piece, right? Wrong. Because here's what most people don't realize: some versions of the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar were never even intended for circulation. That's right. The majority of coins struck for circulation were released, yes, but a significant number were reserved strictly for mint sets and proof sets. This means a regular 1973 Kennedy half-dollar found in your pocket change is already less common than you might think. And that, collectors, is just the beginning. Now here's where it gets very interesting. While the design of the 1973 half-dollar may look familiar, with JFK's strong profile on the obverse, and the powerful presidential seal with the bald eagle on the reverse, the value of this coin isn't in its appearance. The true power of this coin lies in its errors, rarities, and unexpected anomalies, the kinds of minting mistakes that only happen once in a generation. Let's talk about striking errors. These are the unicorns of coin collecting: accidental, rare, and extremely valuable. One known error for the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar is the off-center strike. In this error, the coin is not properly aligned when struck, causing the design to appear shifted to one side. The more dramatic the misalignment, especially above 50% off-center, the higher the value climbs. Next, we have the double die obverse, or DDO. This occurs when the coin's die strikes the planchet more than once, creating a doubling effect on the text or image. Imagine looking at your half-dollar and noticing that the words, "Liberty," or "In God We Trust," look slightly doubled, ghosted, or blurred. That's not damage. That's value. Double die coins are rare and always in demand. One of the most mysterious and exciting errors is when a coin is struck on the wrong planchet. Some 1973 Kennedy half-dollars have been found struck on planchets intended for foreign coins or quarters, making them not only lighter in weight but completely unexpected. These kinds of mint errors are often discovered years later, during professional grading, and can command jaw-dropping prices at auction. Let's not forget the No FG variety, one of the most famous and subtle errors in the Kennedy series. The initials FG stand for Frank Gasparro, the designer of the reverse of the coin. These initials are normally located just to the right of the eagle's tail. But on some rare 1973 Kennedy half-dollars, due to overpolishing of the die, the FG is missing entirely. A tiny detail, but a massive difference in value. Now, we move on to proof coins from the San Francisco Mint. These were made for collectors and feature a mirror-like finish with razor-sharp details. But once in a while, a proof coin may be struck with a minting error, a die clash, a double strike, or a mule pairing, and that's when the game changes. Such coins are never meant to leave the mint. But when they do, they become instant legends, and then there's grade. Most 1973 Kennedy half-dollars circulated heavily, meaning they show scratches, nicks, and wear. But once in a while, a coin surfaces in mint state 67 or higher, preserved perfectly, often in original government packaging. These are the coins that shine like mirrors, with no contact marks, no blemishes, no fading, and collectors will pay dearly for them. Some collectors spend decades searching for the perfect coin, that one half-dollar that checks every box. A rare mint error, a high grade, sharp detail, and maybe even a silver core. And yes, there are even rumored cases of silver planchet strikes. incredibly rare Kennedy half dollars from 1973 mistakenly struck on leftover 40% silver blanks from earlier years. Imagine finding one of those. So, what makes this coin so irresistible to collectors? It's not just the design. It's the unexpected mystery, the hunt for hidden errors, and the rare mintage quirks that make every 1973 Kennedy half dollar a potential treasure. It's the idea that the next coin you find in a jar, in a drawer, or at a garage sale could hold a story worth telling, and a price tag worth dreaming about. Now comes the moment you've all been waiting for. One rare specimen of the 1973 Kennedy half dollar, featuring a unique mint error, perfect condition, and unmatched eye appeal, was once auctioned for a staggering total of $180,000. That's right, $180,000 for a 50-cent piece. So keep your eyes open. Check your coin collections. Search those rolls and inspect every detail, because your next incredible discovery might be a 1973 Kennedy half dollar that holds far more than just monetary value. It holds history. It holds mystery. And if you're lucky, it might just change your life. Thanks for watching, and remember, every coin has a story. But only a few are worth a fortune. Top 4. We're cracking open the story of a coin that you might have passed by without a second thought. But by the end of this video, you'll see it through a brand new lens. Because today, we are diving deep into the untold tale of the 1981 Kennedy half dollar, a coin that might look like just another piece of pocket change, but when the right rarity meets the right condition and the right error, it becomes a collector's dream and a wallet's miracle. Let's take a step back into the early 1980s, a time when America was going through transition. The economy was shifting, technology was evolving, and the U.S. Mint was entering a new chapter in production. But despite all the change around it, one coin stayed consistent in honoring an unforgettable American icon, President John F. Kennedy. The Kennedy half dollar had already been in circulation since 1964, introduced as a tribute after JFK's tragic assassination. Since then, it had become more than just a coin. It became a symbol of legacy, leadership, and hope. And while millions were minted over the years, the 1981 version holds a special place in the world of numismatics, not just for how it looks, but for the mysterious traits that some lucky collectors have discovered. Let's explore what makes the 1981 Kennedy half dollar so incredibly fascinating. To start, this coin was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, marked with a D; and San Francisco, marked with an S. But here's the twist. In 1981, the mint had already stopped regular circulation of Kennedy half dollars. That's right. Most people didn't even use them anymore. By this time, half dollars were primarily being produced only for collectors and included in official mint sets or souvenir sets. That means far fewer coins were made, and even fewer made it into public hands. So if you're holding a 1981 Kennedy half dollar that was circulated, it's already unusual. But if it's uncirculated, proof struck, or loaded with a rare error, that's where things get exciting. Let's begin with the heart-pounding world of mint errors. Among the most dramatic are off-center strikes. These happen when the blank planchet isn't properly seated in the striking press, causing part of the design to appear off to one side, sometimes even missing a chunk of the coin entirely. A 1981 half dollar struck 40% off-center? Now that's something collectors will battle over at auction. Then, you've got the famous double die obverse. This error, which shows as a slight, ghosting, or doubling in the letters or numbers on the front of the coin, is caused by a die that was improperly manufactured or repositioned. The motto, "In God We Trust," or the word, "Liberty," may appear doubled, giving the coin an eerie and distinct look, one that's loved by error enthusiasts across the globe. And let's not forget about clipped planchets. Imagine a 1981 Kennedy half dollar that's missing a curved piece, almost as if someone took a bite out of the edge. That's a minting error caused when the metal blank was punched too close to the edge of the sheet. A rare accident, but one that collectors adore. Even more impressive are the coins struck on the wrong planchet. There have been confirmed cases where half dollars have accidentally been struck on $quarter or even foreign coin blanks. That results in a coin that looks off in size, weight, or thickness, and those mistakes can be worth thousands. Another highly discussed variety among 1981 Kennedy half dollars is the no FG reverse, where the designer's initials, FG, for Frank Gasparo, are missing from the reverse of the coin, just beneath the eagle's tail. Caused by an overpolished die, this tiny absence can be a big deal to collectors who know exactly where to look, and if you're lucky enough to find a proof coin from the San Francisco Mint, these are the beautiful, mirror-like pieces struck for collectors. Then pay even closer attention. Some proof coins display frosted devices with deep cameo fields, making them extra desirable. But even rarer still are those proof coins with errors, die clashes, repunched mint marks, and even mule errors that combine mismatched obverse and reverse dies. Let's now talk about grade, the condition of your coin. The vast majority of 1981 Kennedy half dollars show signs of wear, especially those that accidentally entered circulation. But a coin graded MS-67 or higher? That's a whole new level. Mint state coins with rich luster, no contact marks, and perfect strike quality are the elite, the coins that stand above the rest and draw massive interest at auctions. So what does all of this mean? It means that the 1981 Kennedy half dollar is not just another forgotten relic from the past. It's a quiet legend. A sleeper coin. A rare opportunity hidden in plain sight. Because while the average person overlooks it, collectors know, this coin can hold secrets. It can hold value. And it can tell a story that spans decades, from the day it left the mint to the moment someone like you finds it again and recognizes its true worth. So if you have a Kennedy half dollar from 1981, look closely. Examine the mint mark. Check for errors. Weigh it. Compare the details. Look for doubling. Look for missing initials. And if you believe you've got something rare, don't let it sit. Get it graded, get it appraised, and understand just how important your find might be. Because once in a while, a coin comes along that changes everything. And now, for the moment every coin enthusiast has been waiting for, one remarkable example of the 1981 Kennedy half dollar, a coin featuring a rare mint error. Preserved in exceptional mint state condition, and verified by professional grading, was once sold at auction for an astonishing sum of $135,000. Yes, you heard that right, $135,000. For a coin that originally held a face value of just 50 cents. So don't underestimate the coin in your hand. Look twice. Inspect every detail. Because hidden in that shine, that rim, that subtle imperfection, might just be a treasure waiting to be discovered. Thanks for joining us on this journey through coin history. If you found this video interesting, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing stories from the world of numismatics. And always remember, the next great discovery could be right in your own collection. Keep hunting, keep learning, and keep your eyes open. Because your next coin might just be the one. Top 5. We are diving into the world of modern American coinage, a world where even a coin minted just 2 decades ago can shock the numismatic community, light up auction rooms, and fetch a price far beyond what anyone would expect. So sit back, listen carefully, and open your mind, because today's video is about the mysterious, overlooked, and occasionally extraordinary 2000 Kennedy half dollar, a coin that may be hiding in plain sight, waiting to be discovered. Let's start with the basics. But trust me, by the time we get to the end of this video, you'll never look at a half dollar the same way again. The Kennedy half dollar series began in 1964, shortly after the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. Since then, it has become one of the most iconic coins in U.S. history. But by the year 2000, something important had changed. The Kennedy half dollar was no longer being widely circulated by the public. In fact, the U.S. Mint had made a decision. From 2002 onward, these coins would be produced only for collectors. So 2000 was one of the last years the Kennedy half dollar was officially minted for circulation. But here's the twist. Even in the year 2000, very few people were using these coins in daily transactions. That means fewer people were paying attention, fewer coins were saved, and even fewer were examined for errors, rarities, or unusual varieties. And that's where things get very, very interesting. The 2000 Kennedy half-dollar was minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The P and D mint marks were for general circulation, while the S mint mark coins were produced as proofs. Those beautiful, mirror-like coins struck multiple times with precision dies, intended strictly for collectors. Now here's where collectors start to pay serious attention. Let's talk rarity. While millions were minted, the demand was extremely low. Many of these coins sat in vaults, uncirculated, unopened, untouched. This created a perfect storm for scarcity in high grade. Today, finding a 2000 Kennedy half-dollar in mint state 67 or higher is far rarer than people realize. And that's even before we dive into the world of minting errors. You heard me right. The 2000 Kennedy half-dollar has a reputation among collectors for some bizarre and valuable mint errors. And if you happen to have one of these, your coin could be worth far more than 50 cents. Let's break them down. First up, off-center strikes. These coins were not properly aligned during the minting process, resulting in part of the design being shifted, incomplete, or dramatically misplaced. Some examples have Kennedy's portrait floating toward the edge of the coin, or the date nearly falling off the rim. The more extreme the misalignment, the more valuable the error. Then there's the double die error, always a collector favorite. This occurs when the die itself has been engraved with a slight shift or duplication. On the 2000 half-dollar, you might spot this in the lettering, especially in Liberty or In God We Trust. Look closely, and if you see ghosted, shadow-like lettering or numbers with thickness or doubling, you might be looking at a very valuable mistake. Another fascinating rarity is the struck-through error. This occurs when a piece of debris or foreign material gets between the die and the planchet during minting. This can leave strange textures, missing design elements, or odd indentations on the coin, all of which make it completely unique and highly collectible. And then we get into wrong planchet errors. Yes, even in the year 2000, these kinds of mistakes still happened. There are confirmed cases of Kennedy half-dollars being accidentally struck on planchets meant for quarters or foreign coins, resulting in underweight or slightly undersized coins. These are incredibly rare, and if professionally verified, extremely valuable. Let's not forget about the proof coins from the San Francisco Mint. These are special because they were never meant to be circulated. They were sold directly to collectors in proof sets. The S Mint mark is a giveaway, but what makes these coins extra exciting is when an error appears in a proof strike, like a cameo missing frosting, a mule pairing, or an inverted die alignment. Any of these instantly turns a standard proof into a highly desirable showpiece. Another hot topic among collectors is the grade. In today's competitive numismatic market, the difference between a coin graded MS-66 and one graded MS-68 can be the difference between a coin worth a few dollars and one worth thousands. With the 2000 Kennedy half-dollar, pristine, untouched coins with sharp detail, no blemishes, and original mint luster are incredibly hard to come by. That's why third-party grading services like PCGS and NGC have become so important. They identify and certify coins that are truly in elite condition. But why do collectors obsess over this coin so much? Because it represents a transitional moment in U.S. coin history. It was one of the final years of general issue Kennedy half-dollars before the mint shifted to collector-only production. It's a modern coin with old-world potential, an underappreciated gem in the world of American currency. And when paired with a rare error, a freak minting accident, or a near-perfect grade, it can become absolutely explosive in value. So here's what you need to do. Check your coin collections, your old mint sets, your rolls, your folders, your forgotten boxes of change. If you come across a 2000 Kennedy half-dollar, look closely. Does it have a strong strike? A mint mark? Doubling? Odd weight? Is it proof-like? Is it damaged in a way that looks like it couldn't have come from wear and tear? Because you might be holding something incredible. And now, as promised, for those of you who watched closely and listened carefully, here is the moment you've been waiting for. One special 2000 Kennedy half-dollar, featuring a rare mint error and preserved in brilliant, high-grade condition. Once left collectors stunned when it sold for the unbelievable sum of $100,000. That's right, $100,000. For a coin that, at face value, is only worth 50 cents. That's the power of rarity. That's the magic of minting history. And that's why we say, never underestimate the coin in your hand. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the secrets of the 2000 Kennedy half dollar, be sure to like this video, subscribe for more numismatic treasures, and share your thoughts or coin stories in the comments below. And remember, your next great discovery could be waiting inside a coin you already own. Until next time, happy hunting, and may your pocket change bring you priceless surprises.